So, good evening, everyone, and welcome to Wines of Italy again. I'm Katarina, and after 2 months of rest from Wines of Italy, I'm back tonight with a guest. As I told you, I will probably only do once a month from now on because I'm traveling a bit too much. So tonight, my guest will be Gianmarco Diddi from Fattoria Pogni, or Terre del Bruno, which is their new brand name. And so we will talk a bit about Chianti, but from an area in Chianti that is a bit lesser known, which is the area around Certaldo. Before we start, I just also wanted to say that the collaboration that we started in the summer with Tina Mori and the wine studio, we hopefully will start off more regularly from next year, so from January, February. Let's see. Um, Anyway, so welcome, Gianmarco, and I don't know. Do you want to start to present yourself? I'm just trying to say two more things. So those of you who join and listen in, feel free to present yourself in the comments and ask any questions if you want to. So welcome again, Gianmarco, and do you want to say something about yourself and the winery?
Yeah, okay, thanks, Katarina. My name is Gianmarco. I am one of the owners of Fattoria Pogni Terre del Bruno. During the last 2 years, we start to sell all our production with the new brand Terre del Bruno. This brand is dedicated to my grandfather, the father of my mother, and from my grandfather started the tradition and the passion of our work. We are situated between Siena and Florence, in the heart of Chianti, and our cellar is in the middle of a medieval village. The name of this village is Pogni, and is from the 14th century. And my family bought this place 100 years ago.
Okay.
Inside our cellar, we make 7 different types of wines, and one white, one rosé, and Chianti, and 3 IGT Super Tuscan. In my bag, I have some of our bottles. Our cellar have 15 hectares of vineyards, 2,000 of olive trees, and the total of our area is 90 hectares. I started with my brother 15 years ago with this activity because Fattoria Pogni and Terre del Bruno is a new brand started in 2003 when me and my brother started to put together all our property from the parents of my mother and the parents of my father. So we mix everything inside Terre del Bruno and we started with our production. I don't know if you have some.
Yes, I'm just showing some of the photos.
This is myself.
So these are the photos from when we visited, I think 2 months ago, no, or 1.5 months ago. So if you talk a bit about yourself first, I mean, how come that you wanted to take over or to restart the winery of the family?
Yeah, I want to start this activity, and I want to restart the activity of my family because my grandfather. I take from my grandfather the passion of the winemaker, and so my work inside inside Terre del Bruno is in the cellar. I follow the most important steps during the production, and so the bottling step and the harvesting, and then I go outside to sell all our wines. And it's very important the first 2 steps, the harvesting and and the bottling, because during the harvesting we try to make the best quality from our grapes and our wines. And because we have different types of grapes, so we have very long harvesting. We start in August. It depends from the year, but usually in August with white wines like Vermentino and Trebbiano, and for the reds we have the Merlot. Then we go to the third weeks of September with Sangiovese and special selection of our Sangiovese grapes for Chianti Riserva and one of our IGT. And we finish the harvesting in October with Cabernet Sauvignon, so near the second week. So it's a very long harvesting, and it's very important for us to make the best quality from our grapes.
So we have some people just saying hello to them. So it's Lloyd from UK. He's one of my wine friends from the UK. So hello, Lloyd. And then I don't know if it's your friend, Serena Jarki.
Yeah, he's one of my friends.
So we say hello to them, and if you want to ask any questions during the live stream, just write the comments below. So you were saying that you were talking about the harvest time of the grapes and the different grapes that you.
Yeah, I said we finish around October, and during January we have the most important months, because we start to find the best quality of wine for aging the wine inside the bottle. So we try to take the best part of Merlot, Cabernet Sauvignon, and Sangiovese, and we aging in the oak, French oak, and a part in American oak. It depends from the year, but usually the wines stay inside our barrique for 1 year and a half. And it's very important to find the best part of the wines, because if the wine doesn't have the body to support the oak, it's very dangerous for our bottles. So January and February are two very important months for us. The wine stay inside 18 months inside barrique. We have two different types. We have barrique 225 and Tonneau 500 liters. Sangiovese, Cabernet, and Merlot have different harvesting, different fermentation, and vinification. So we put separated inside the oak. We have one of our wines. The name is Gorgoli, and it's a blend, Sangiovese and Cabernet Sauvignon. So we make this blend only when we bottling the wine. So 1 month after bottling. We need to take outside the wine from the oak, and we have a special area inside our cellar where we put this special blend in a tank, and the wine stays for 1 month, and we bottling directly from this tank the wine. We make 100% of steps inside our cellar. So we start in vineyard and we finish with the bottles. It's very important for us to follow all these steps for guarantee 100% of quality. And
just for the people who are following, I mean, how did you choose? Did you already have the grapes, or did you choose to replant international grapes?
Yeah.
Or was it that the vineyards were like that when you took over from your grandfather, or?
Sure. We started with the old vineyards. Now we have just one very old vineyards, 13 years, and the rest we started to plant in 2006, 2007. So now I have between 10, 12 years, and we started with Sangiovese, a small part of Cabernet Sauvignon. During this year, we improve our production and we improve our selling. So we need to plant the special vineyard for Merlot, and we improve the quantity of Cabernet Sauvignon. And the last vineyard is from the last year, so we need to wait 3 years now. And is a vineyard with only international grapes, with Merlot and Cabernet Sauvignon. Because we sell 85% of our wines, we go outside of Italy, or USA and China, Japan, and somewhere in Europe. And it's very important to have a very good quality with international grapes to go outside with the wine. And our importer prefer to have a good Merlot, good Cabernet Sauvignon, and they like a lot Sangiovese. So we make a special selection only for the European and USA market.
But how does the Chianti wines do abroad? Do they do well, or is it mostly the Merlot and Cabernet that goes well abroad?
Chianti, yeah, we have we try to have a very high quality for Chianti, because Chianti is the first wine in our cellar. Don't have a very high price, and so we use these types of product, these types of wine, for go inside the new market. So usually we start with Chianti and Chianti Riserva, and then we go to the other IGT Super Tuscany. So it's very important to make a good Chianti. You know, for have the label Chianti, for have the label around the neck, we need to go to the Chamber of Commerce. So they come in our cellar, they take some bottles, they make exam and taste the wine. If the quality is very high, we can make Chianti and we can use the name Chianti. And for example, for Chianti Riserva, the wine needs to stay 2 years inside cellar. And so now actually we sell the year 2013. And
it was the one we tasted, no?
Yes, sure. And maybe in the next months we start to bottling the 2015. We stopped the production of Riserva and IGT Super Tuscan in the year 2014. It's our choice, because 2014
was a bad year. No?
Yeah, it was a very bad year, and we prefer to stop the production of Riserva and the IGT Super Tuscan. Our clients.
So there's sorry if I interrupt you. So Biliar is here, and there's a question. He asked if your export market is also to Japan, China, and Korea as a growing market for Chianti.
Yeah, now Korea is a new market for Chianti, and the name Chianti goes very well in Korea. And my cellar actually, we don't sell in Korea, we sell in Japan and in China. In Japan, we sell the Riserva, Chianti Riserva, and one of our IGT. And in China, we go with Chianti. So now I hope for Korea, but now is a very good area for Chianti.
No, for sure, for sure.
Yeah.
So hello, Biliar, and thank you for being here today. So I don't know if you were happy with the answer, otherwise ask some more questions. So you were saying before about the different wines. I forgot the thread.
Yeah, we talk about the different labels and different kinds of wine.
Yeah.
We have in our cellar 7 different types of wine. And so
I don't know, do you want to start to talk a bit about the white, perhaps? Because you do actually do a Vermentino and Trebbiano blend, which is...
Yes, it's a blend, 80% Vermentino and 30% Trebbiano. And this wine have a very good acidity, and it's very important, the acidity for the Tuscan white wine, because the white in our area doesn't have a strong body, so it's very important to make a fresh wine, fruit inside, and is a good wine for aperitif and for the summer season because it's very fresh inside. Vermentino have a lot of flavors, and so for this reason we put 85 or 80% of Vermentino inside blend. And you taste this white wine, so maybe you can.
No, I think it was good because generally Tuscany, I mean, if you're not by the coast, generally white wines in Tuscany are not, except for Vernaccia, but it's not like Tuscany is very well known for their white wines. But
no, it's only Vernaccia
I
because
think I think it was very nice. I mean, it had good acidity and a lot of aromas. As Vermentino is a good grape, it gives a bit more than the Trebbiano, so
not like
it's a good combination.
Yeah, sure. It's not like the Vermentino from the coast, from the seaside. It's different types of flavors, and but it's a very fresh wine and it's very very good wine for us. And we work very well with these types of wine, especially outside of Italy. Yeah. Then we
Also because I guess abroad they don't have all these preconceptions about which region produce what in Italy. I think within Italy you have more this kind of thing that in Tuscany you don't go for white wine, you would go for white wine to I don't know
yeah.
to Campania or to Veneto or to
Yeah,
Friuli, but perhaps not to
the
Tuscany.
white wine is is one of our new wines inside our production because we started in 2003 just with three red wines, one Chianti Riserva, and the blend between Sangiovese and Cabernet Sauvignon. So white wine, we start to bottling these types of wine in 2010. So it's very young, these types of blend, and we started just with only with Trebbiano. So during 8 years, we change our white, we improve with Vermentino, and now maybe we have a good quality and we sell very very well. Yeah.
What kind of soil do you have? I don't know if I go back a bit now, a bit back and forth, but if you talk a bit about the soil and the vineyards also, because I know that some of the people listening here are very interested in more
Yeah.
about the vineyards and the soil and the terroir. So
Yeah, we are very lucky because we can use two different types of soil. Our village is on the top of the hill of Marcialla, the name of the town, and we have our vineyards in two different parts of that hill. So in one part is the part of Certaldo. We have tufa soil, so it's very fresh, and in these types of soil we make the Chianti, the white wine, and the rosé because in this part of soil we don't have a very strong body, but the tufa soil give a lot of fresh and fruity to the wine. So if I want a wine, a direct wine, and without a strong body for every day is it's perfect. In the other part of the hill,
minerality, no?
yeah, a lot of minerality. So the white wine and the Sangiovese for rosé wine, we take from these types of soil. Because in the other part of the hill, we have Galestro. Galestro is a soil with a lot of stone, and so this stone dry very well the vineyard and give a strong body to the grapes because we improve the sugar inside. So from this vineyard, we take the Sangiovese, the Merlot, and the Cabernet Sauvignon for Chianti Riserva and the three IGT Super Tuscan. It's very important to take the grapes from these types of soil because the wine has the body for support.
Also because the Galestri is more elegance, no? A bit more, except for body, also a bit more elegance, a bit more Because also in Radda they have a lot of Galestro and
Yeah,
generally produce very fresh and elegant wines.
yeah, but Galestro is very important. If I want to age wine inside barrique, inside oak, it's very, very important to take the
Mm.
grape from these types of soil. Yes, very, very important.
So Lynn is also here following. She's another friend, an American who lives in Bordeaux. So she wonders what kind of elevation the vineyard with the Vermentino.
Yeah, the Vermentino is 350 meters.
Okay.
We stay between 350 400 meters, all our vineyards, and so is a good elevation for the vineyard because we the cloudy and stop and don't go to our vineyards. It's very, very important.
Okay.
Yeah, especially in the summer season, all the time. Yeah.
When it's very warm, yes.
Yeah.
So I'm sorry I interrupted you. I don't know if you want to continue with the rosé wine, perhaps.
Yes, sure. We have one rosé in our production, and it's 100% of Sangiovese. We make this wine with traditional work. So my grandfather teach me how is the best work for make a rosé, and we take the Sangiovese grape and we put during the harvesting inside the tank. It's a cold tank. We put inside a temperature near 0 or 1 degrees Celsius. It's very important for stop the fermentation. The grapes stay for 3 hours, 4 hours inside that tank, and then we take outside only the juice. It's very important to take only the juice because if we start the fermentation with the grape, we take the color from the skin of the grape.
Mm.
It's very important to take outside only the juice. We put this juice in another tank and we start a cold fermentation. We stay between 14, 16 degrees Celsius. It's a long fermentation, about 15 days. When the sugar become alcohol,
Mm.
we cool the wine and we put in another tank. The wine stay in this tank for 2 months, and then we go directly in barrique. Barrique from the new barrique. So this wine stay for 2 3 months. It depends from the year inside barrique, and then we take outside and we bottle the wine. It's very important to put the wine only for 2 3 months because the rosé wine don't have the body to support the flavors from the barrique. So we put in barrique only for give some a little bit of sweet taste and just for cool down a little bit with the acidity. And
Mm.
we started with this wine 3 years ago, and now we have a good sale. For yeah, we are very happy because it's a taste. So we are very happy now.
No, it's a very good wine. I mean, it's very fresh and very bit fruity.
Yeah, fruity because
So let's see. There's another question. Cold stabilization of the rosé. Is it natural yeast or commercial yeast?
it's a naturalist.
Okay.
Yeah,
So I hope. Yeah, I think that was the answer he wanted. So thank you, Bill. And yeah, I'll get back to the rosé wine. So I think it was very nice. I mean, it's very, very good for an aperitif or for as we had at your place with the cold cuts and some smaller things to eat. So it was very, very enjoyable, I think.
thanks.
um, which wine do you want to? I don't know. If anybody have any questions, feel free to make them. If you want to know more about the vineyards or the winemaking or whatever. Otherwise, let's move on to, I don't know. Do you want to talk more about the Chianti wines or about?
Yeah, we have two different types of Chianti. The first one is the
The
Chianti,
seasonal one, the OCG.
and this wine is a blend, 85% Sangiovese, Canaiolo, and Colorino. This wine stay only in the tank. We make a special fermentation. We put inside in the first 36, 40 hours, very hot temperature, around 35, 36 degrees Celsius. Then we go down to 28, and in 1 week, 10 days, we stop all the fermentation. It's very important to make this work because we can extract better the color from the skin, and we can extract from the grape only the good tannin, the good part of tannin. Not We don't take the green part. It's very dangerous if you take the green part of tannin from the grape.
Yeah.
So is a good wine, very fresh, and have a good balance between tannin and acidity. And the other Chianti is a Chianti Riserva. We use the same fermentation of Chianti, but we put this wine for 16 months inside barrique and tonneau. Only from the second and third year, not new barrique. It's our choice because we want to find the flavors of Chianti inside the wine, the flavors of from Sangiovese. So if we put a lot of oak inside,
Yeah, it disappears a bit.
yeah.
So there's another question. He asked about the year 2015, but I think you meant 2014, no? That it was a not good year.
Yeah.
And he asked if you think that 16 and 17 compensated for the down year 2014.
Yeah, 16 was a good year. Now we have the wine inside the barrique. We take outside the wine in January, and but we taste during this month the wine, so it's a very good year. Good sun, no rain, and so maybe it's one of our best years. For
Also,
2007,
2015 was fairly good, no? It was.
yeah, 2000, only 2014. The perfect year we had in 2010 and 2013, 15, and 16. Now we hope for 17 because in 17 we make only the Chianti. We start to put now in January the wines inside the barrique. So we need to wait.
Because did you also have very much lower quantity in 17 because it was too warm, or?
No, we improve our production 2017. Yeah, I know it's.
Usually they say that they had very little but good quality.
Yeah, I know, but a lot of seller in our area had a lot of problems with the worm and with the ice during May.
Yeah.
Our vineyards is 400 meters the elevation. So in May 2017 we didn't have the ice, and during the summer we have a lake, so we can put the water inside vineyards, and and we work very well the vineyards with the tractor during May and June. So we improve 3-4% our production and good alcohol inside, good color, and so I hope for 2017 inside barrique, but we need to wait 8-9 months.
Oh, that's cool. So I don't know. Were you happy with the answer, Bill? Otherwise, you have to ask again if you want to know more. So we went. Let's go back to the Chianti Riserva, no, which is a bit more full-bodied wine, no, than the other.
Yes, it's because we improve the flavors with the barrique, but I told you just barrique from second and third year, not the new barrique. and the new barrique we use only for the three IGT Super Tuscan. So the first one is another 100% of Sangiovese, and the name is Napolaio. And these types of wine, we make this wine with a special selection of our Sangiovese grape. So we pick the grape by hands inside vineyard. We go directly in the tank, and when we stop the fermentation, we put this wine for 18 months. It depends from the year, 18, 20 months, inside barrique, only barrique, from the first year. And we taste the wine every 3 months, because we follow all steps inside barrique. We need to take outside the wine from barrique for 3-4 times in 1 year during the year, and we need to clean the barrique because the wine makes some deposit inside, so it's very important to clean the wine. And we have a special machine for cleaning the barrique without soap, just with water, because the soap is very dangerous for you. And so we put again inside the wine. When we take outside the wine from barrique, we put the wine in a special area. In this area, we have only tank for the wine comes from barrique. We don't put any other wines inside this tank because we don't want to mix the new wine, the flavors from the new wine with the old wine. So it's a special area just for IGT and Chianti Reserva.
Okay.
And inside our
cement tanks too. I forgot if you had that. Do you use cement or do you use only steel and
only steel tank? We use only steel tank because steel tank is easy to clean, and clean the tank with only with water. We have a machine. We can put cold temperature. Hot temperature inside, so we can clean very well the tank, and it's better for us.
Yeah, interesting.
Just tank.
No, because I mean, a lot of people now start to recover their old cement
I know.
tanks and similar.
A lot of seller start now to use again the cement. I don't know. I prefer the steel. Every year the wine need to look for something new, but I prefer to steel. It's our choice, so we make the wine only in steel tank, and we use only barrique and tonneau for aging the wine, not the big one.
Your brother is also here. I wanted to ask. So, what does your brother do in what's his task in the winery?
Yeah, my brother helped me during the harvesting and during and when we bottling the wine. So my brother usually work inside the cellar with me.
I didn't know it was him. I saw him from the beginning. So for those of you who just joined, I saw there's a couple of new people coming in. We're talking to Gianmarco Diddi and also his brother through the comments from Terre del Bruno or Fattoria Pogni. But are you going to change completely to Terre del Bruno, or will you still call it Fattoria?
With the wine, we change totally in Terre del Bruno. Fattoria Pogni is only for the agritourism, because we have a agritourism inside this village. So Fattoria Pogni is only for the agritourism. For the wine, we use only Terre del Bruno because Bruno is the name of my grandfather, and so me and my brother, we want to use the name of our grandfather for our wines, and so we sell only the brand Terre del Bruno now.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
No, it's a very beautiful place. So I don't know. Do you want to say something later on also about the agriturismo? Because I know
Yeah,
that you have a lot of activities that people can do also while, which I
yes,
think is a bit not unique, but there is not that many who has also kind of the possibility to offer side activities
yeah,
on the ground, so to say.
yeah. It's 65 years with work for for make this agriturism because the village is from the year 1300, so need a lot of work inside. And we stopped the work in 2012 with the last villa. And now we have 6 apartments and one big villa. And inside our activities, we can make different kind of activities. We have the soccer, we have tennis court, we have the volley, and the gym, swimming pool. We have a very big swimming pool, and we can have relaxed time inside our village. Yeah. And you can visit our cellar and taste the wine. So it's the perfect holiday in Chianti.
True. Let's see if I find a photo.
Yeah,
Yes, it was.
my mother follow the agriculture. This is a part of our house. Is where my parents live, and my mother follow everything inside agriculture. So with our other 2 girls, and so you need to ask to my mother if you want to know some from the
True.
apartment, something from apartments. Okay.
Okay, so let's get back to the wine because there's another question. So for barrel aging, do you prefer to use tonneau? I think you said yes, or barrique. No, you do a bit of both.
We use both, yeah. We don't
Because I
know.
remember you had a with the Nicola. No, you had a talk about the choice of oak of types of wood. I remember, but I can't remember what he was
Yes,
saying.
we have 2 different types of wood. Uh, for tonneau and barrique, we use French oak, and we have a small part of barrique with American oak. We have the American oak because in our area Cabernet Sauvignon is little bit strong and have a very strong body. So we use American oak for put inside some sweet taste, but we use only for Cabernet Sauvignon. Yeah, we don't use for Sangiovese or Merlot, and is only a little part. So in Gorgoli, in the blend Sangiovese and Cabernet, we use 2 different types of oak. So, for
Okay.
example, when you taste Gorgoli, you can find in the first part, during the tasting, you can find in the first part Cabernet Sauvignon, then you go to Sangiovese and you finish your tasting with Cabernet Sauvignon and this sweet taste from American oak is very
Okay.
important wine. Yeah.
So did you have a preference? Do you personally like barrique or tonneau more?
Excuse me?
Do you have a preference? I think he asked if you prefer tonneau or barrique. Do you have a personal preference?
Uh, is different because the wine, the contact between the wine and the wood is different from tonneau and from barrique. Barrique is a little bit small, so the
Mm.
wine stay in contact with the oak a lot, and so you can find more flavors inside the wine. In
Yeah.
tonneau don't put a lot of flavors, so we use tonneau, for example, for Chianti Riserva, and barrique only for IGT.
Okay.
But we try to use both because we can
Yeah,
find
to make it balanced, no?
flavors.
Mm. Okay, so I hope you were happy with the answer. Anyone else who has any questions, you can ask them. Otherwise, I was thinking about something else because I think we have talked about all the wines. I had made some comments. Um, and we already talked about export. So, which is the biggest market? Is it the US, the Canada, or the
Uh,
China?
the US, and now we sell very well in Canada with all our wines and different types of bottles because we have the Magnum for 1.5, 3, and 5 liters. And in Europe, one of the best market is for us is Czech Republic. We have
Okay.
a big importer in Czech Republic, and we make the we sell two IGT, the Merlot and the Cabernet Sauvignon, and one Chianti Riserva, and is our for us is a very big market. And 2 years ago we started in Japan, and so I I want to improve our selling, so we try to find new market every year. Now I go to Provine and in Italy. In Italy we have our private stand, and so we try to find new important and new market. But we
Okay.
these years we improve a lot our production because we now we're bottling around 120,000 of bottles.
Okay.
All our bottles. 70%, 75% is Chianti and the rest is the IGP.
Oh, that's good. Do you want to say something? Because I know you told us that you're now during this period part of the consortium board, no?
Yeah,
The Chianti consortium that you're part of the steering, I don't know, the steering
one
committee
of
or
the
the
member, yeah, we
yes.
are the consortium, and it's very important for us because we can stay in contact with the other 20 members, and we every year we need to find the best way for sell the name Chianti around the world. So
Mm.
we try to improve the selling. We put the money to make the fair, to make events around the world. We make one in the US now, a small one in Cuba, and we want to find South Africa because now South Africa is one of the most
Because
important.
that's the new market, no? I see that some people are now going towards South Africa a lot.
Yes, for Chianti is a new market, and we try to improve the sale in this market because it's very important for us. And with South Africa is important. China,
Mm.
the name Chianti, the Chinese people don't know very well, and so we need to teach them what is Chianti, where is
Yeah.
Chianti, and they don't know Chianti is from Tuscany. So, because, in China, uh, French wines they know very well, but Italian wines
Yeah.
is a new market for us, and so we
Well,
need
it's
to keep.
also difficult for them because there are so many different varieties, regions,
Yeah,
denominations. I guess in France it's a bit easier because you have the big areas and
yeah. We have a lot of maybe Tuscany is one of the region with the mass DOCG. We have a lot of DOCG in Tuscany. And
yeah.
so the Chinese people need to know all the OCG from the
Yeah.
region, how many regions are in Italy, and so it's a hard work to teach
Yeah.
to them. Yeah.
So Lynn has another question. What is your biggest challenge to get your wine into different markets or countries?
Uh, so we try to find the different markets, and each market have different requests. So we need to find the best wine, the correct wine for each market. For example, in the USA, we go inside with just with Chianti and the Sangiovese IGT. In Czech Republic, with Merlot and Cabernet Sauvignon, so it's very important to find the correct wine for the market. So,
That's good.
yeah.
Anything else? I mean, what do you think, if I continue with Lynn's question? I mean, if you would say overall for your winery and your work, what has been most challenging during the last years since
The
you
last
took
years,
over?
the market in the last years for us.
No, I mean for you also with your work in the winery since you took over. What has been the most challenging?
Yeah. For me, what I do in the
Yes, for you and your brother, and since you took over the winery.
yeah, I don't know because maybe I don't understand your question. So
I said, what has been the toughest things to do since the years that you have been managing the winery? Is there anything that you have found was challenging or hard to do during the while running the winery?
okay, so challenge it means, excuse me, because I don't understand the question.
No, I mean if I ask you, like, since you took over the winery and with together with your brother and the
Yeah.
work that you have carried out during the last years, no? What has been the hardest challenges or also perhaps successes you have had in your
Okay.
work?
One of the most challenge is to find the good importer in China is one of the most important challenge for the last year, and but one of the best challenge is the name Terre del Bruno because is me and my brother want to give the name of our grandfather to all our wines. And so we started last year to sell this new brand. And I hope for the next year to improve our selling. So maybe this is one of the most important challenge for us. Yeah.
Okay. Anything else you want to add that you think people should know about Terra del Bruno and your wine production? Anything we haven't mentioned? Or I'll also ask the people here if you have any more questions for Gianmarco before we start to wrap it up. I don't know. Do you want to say something about because I know that your mother had cooked a lot when we were there. Or I don't know if it was her friends and her. So yeah, I don't know. Do you have any typical pairing with your Chianti wine versus your Cabernet or Merlot that you think is?
Yeah.
Do you have any local dish that you think goes well with these wines?
Chianti is a wine for every day because the wine doesn't have a strong body, so it's good for every day. And for our reds, the best meal is the meat and the steak. The steak is one of the best blend between wines and food because all our wines have a good part of tannin inside. It's for the region, the area. And you know, Chianti have a lot of acidity, have a good acidity and good tannin inside. So the tannin clean your mouth. So it's very important to have food with oil inside or like stick. It's very important. Our kitchen is good for our wines. It's perfect because we have a lot of them, we use a lot of salt, oil. So it's a very good wine for these types of very very good wine.
True.
Just the reds. The white is good for some fish or some light food, not very strong.
Oh yeah, it's nice also as an aperitif, I think, because it's
Yes.
fairly fresh and nice. So I don't know. I think I've finished my questions. So I don't know any of you who are following Lynn or Bill or Mark or who is here. If you have any other question for Gianmarco, you can ask them now. Also Amy Rose is here. Hello, Amy. Who all else is here? I don't know. I don't think people have any more questions. So I think we can just kind of end it. I think it was very interesting that, of course, I knew a lot of the things already, but also to have you tell them more in detail in this live stream. So I think it was an interesting talk. I don't know what to say. I think if for anyone who goes to Chianti, they should go and visit you because I think it's a very beautiful place. Do you have anything to say that you think people should know before we?
Yes, I'm there every day, so we are open all the year. And it's a pleasure for us.
Anyway, I put a link to the website, so if you want to contact them, you can find the email there, and otherwise you can also write to me. They do, as we have talked about tonight, they do Chianti wines and also more IGT super Tuscan style wines with Cabernet Merlot and 100% Sangiovese IGT also. So there's a bit for every taste. So I thank everyone who was here today: Mark, Bill, Lynn, Amy Rose, Lloyd, and all the others. And Lynn says that she looks forward to tasting your wines. Now I don't know. I think I will have another live stream before Christmas. I'm not sure yet, so I will let you know in the next week or so. Yeah, the Chianti region is gorgeous. Very nice travel destination. So I will let you know in the next week if I will have another Christmas. I think it will be something very easygoing. And otherwise, we'll see each other in January because now I think I only do it like once a month because I'm traveling too much, so it's hard to keep up otherwise and stay up to date with all the things. Anyway, so have a nice evening, you all, and thank you also, Gianmarco, for being here tonight, for
Thank you.
taking your time.
Thank
So stay tuned and don't forget to follow me also my newsletter on my website or on my blog if you want to. So thanks again and see you next in a couple of weeks. Ciao.
Thank you very much. Good night. Ciao.